podcast, and they're like, "What's your podcast about?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, we just talk." Like I was like, there's this. The topic is like whatever, like, and people are like, "What do you mean? Like what?" And I was like, "No, I mean like last time we talked about Walt Disney. Like I don't know, we just talk."
You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember that episode of Seinfeld where they went to NBC officials and they pitched this TV show that was about nothing? That was a whole TV show. Like, that was their whole pitch. And to me now, I'm like, if I want to give somebody a description of my podcast, go watch that Seinfeld episode. That's my fucking podcast. It's about
Yeah.
nothing.
Well,
No.
I think the podcast is about life. It's about experiences. We tell a lot of stories. We relate a lot.
We
I think
smoke a
it's
lot.
yeah, we smoke a lot. It's interesting to hear the things that we choose to talk with each other about because we both come from very different places. So
You're
you
from
get this
Iowa.
like, well,
Iowa.
just like different upbringings, but we also have a lot in
Mhm.
common. So then to hear both of us like talk about the same thing is like it's very interesting. Like you get a wide perspective of things by
Well,
just like hearing the two of us.
we're like in many ways direct opposites from an outer perspective. If people would see us just for us and didn't allow us to explain who we are and how we met and how like we've reached this point, they may have that perspective at first. But it just goes to show the diverse nature of culture and quality. Just because you're white and just because you're black doesn't mean that your indifferences make you different from each other. That's just like the one thing that I can think of. And it is true, like we've told a lot of really amazing stories. We've pioneered and spent a lot of time like when we talked about Harvey Milk, you know, and Freddie Mercury, and we
Mm,
had on you remember Fiona? We had Fiona
yeah.
on the podcast. We had some weirdos on the podcast, which we're not going to mention by name.
I know exactly who you're talking about, which
Yes,
is
you
like
do.
I
Oh
mean, yeah,
gosh.
well, I know who you're talking about like times two. Like I'm like,
So-
"Oh, yeah."
There's
But
more than one.
oh, there's like 3 now.
Yeah, there
Now
is.
that I think about it, I'm like, "Oh god, we've had some weirdos on the podcast."
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk with you about I guess my voice is kind of like more coarse than I thought it would be. I was like, "Do I need water or something?" Like, holy shit. I have this coffee. I went to Starbucks today. My dog is like being insane.
So
Like,
boosh.
oh my god. Okay, here. I want like a second. Ooh.
So you were saying before you said, "Give me a sec."
I went to Starbucks today. I got a coffee. I was trying to like treat my dog to something special. There's a woman that I follow on social media. She lives in Italy and she has a famous pug. And the pug is old, very, very old pug, super cute. Kind of, she pushes it around like in a little like wheelchair for pugs. It's like
I didn't even know that was a thing.
it's like, you know, it's like a baby carriage for an old dog. And she takes it out like in parks and stuff. And I've just thought it was the cutest thing. And she works from home. So it's just like her and her dog. And they go to parks and she like, you know, makes a hot spot and like works or whatever. It's just like the cutest life. It was very inspiring to me when
Well,
I became single and I had my dog and
when you live in a place like Italy and you're a single person, like there is this opportunity to be connected to not only nature but history. You know, can you imagine if you're like a journalist and you're in Tuscany, you know, and you're sitting on the hills and you're writing.
well, you know who Pepita is. I asked you to write
Oh my
Yeah,
god, was I the one that made the drawing for Pepita?
you did the drawing of Pepita. Pepita passed away. They had Pepita's funeral. I know. I was like, oh. So, and I didn't know that it was, I got on my Facebook and Pepita's funeral was yesterday. If
Oh
not, what's
boy.
the date? Oh, Pepita's funeral was this morning, or like whatever
Oh
the
my
equivalent.
god. This is like
I know,
you're
we're
getting
both like,
like live
no,
broadcast news,
it's
straight from
so
the scope.
sad. So when I woke up, I was just looking at my phone and I was like, oh shit. Cause I haven't been very like current about everything like on Facebook and on my phone and been up to date with like all the people I know and stuff. I've gotten a little bit behind. I've been kind of busy with the new job that I started and stuff. So I felt like when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, like when did this happen, And I guess I kind of missed it, any announcements that were like leading to it or anything like that. But it made me just turn around and hug my dog like really tight, And so I wanted to take Louis to go get a puppuccino. So we got in the car and I drove him around and put a sweater on him and made him happy and got him a little cup of whipped cream from the Starbucks.
It is strange and how like we have mentioned this before where it's not a topic that pet owners want to discuss is the fact that dogs and cats don't live as long as humans do. But I think the important part about them is the memories and experiences that we've had,
Oh,
and
squeeze
we
my
do have.
dog. Squeeze my dog. Oh, squeeze us. Oh, I squeezed
Well,
her.
my little fluff monster's right now outside on the balcony, and she is cuddled and tucked in. It, she referring to Twix, which is a cat,
Yeah, David
and
has the baby on the patio.
oh my god, my little baby's on the patio. She likes to suntan. She loves suntan. Like she will literally like find a spot where the sun is beating and just spread herself out. It's adorable. It's so cute.
Just like spread straight out. But I was like concerned that Starbucks wasn't open.
Why would
And
Starbucks not be open? Oh, because it's Thanksgiving. I forgot.
yeah, but like also like my Thanksgiving is weird because
Same.
two people in my life are like super sick. And so there's no Thanksgiving. I mean, I could have like done something, but basically, like, it's fine. I'm just spending time with my dog, and there's no Thanksgiving.
You
Um,
do you want to hear what happened? Oh my god, this is hilarious. I was telling my boss this yesterday. I'm sorry. I know your Thanksgiving sounds super cool. I'm being
I
serious.
don't
That
know.
actually
I'm just hanging out with the dog.
that
But
actually sounds
yeah.
like a lot of fun. Like a lot of people might be like, yeah, that sounds
Yeah, I
really
know, because a lot of
comforting.
people are like, "I have to do dishes for, like, 3 hours tonight."
Yeah. Right after we carve an entire turkey that
It's a lot
weighs.
of work. Like, a lot of people do a lot of work today
Yeah.
and last night.
It's
Yeah.
funny because like today is your day off, but then you're actually working today, but instead you're working for your family. So that might be a better working, you
If
know?
I had known that I was gonna have all this free time, which is like also like I didn't know that I'd be doing nothing on Thanksgiving. So like I probably would have like, I don't know, like bought the ingredients to like make something or made a pie or like did something fun, but instead like I don't have anything planned. So I'm really just gonna kind of catch up on regular shit, like as if it was just like a day off. So, day off work. Woohoo.
Mm.
Kind of weird everything's closed.
Woohoo! Oh, okay. So I have to share this with you. So my story is this: my mom is going to a dinner tonight at 4 o'clock.
Dinner.
Dinner, and when I got fired, which was November 8th, my mom called me then and asked me if I wanted to go, and like I was delirious. I was out of it. I literally got fired, and I was completely stoned at the same time.
You'll always remember that date,
Yeah,
December
November.
8th. I
No,
mean,
November.
November 8th.
Yeah,
Mine was November like 11th or something. They fired us like right after my birthday. And like it always is just like that's like
you're November 6th.
early November. Yeah, well, you got fired well, kind of right after or right before my birthday or something like that.
No, I got fired on your birthday.
On my actual birthday.
Wait, so your birthday is November 6th?
So you got fired on my birthday. You got fired on the 6th.
On the 6th. Yeah, my apologies. Wow. Oh my
Damn.
god. I'm
It's weird that
sorry.
you got fired on my birthday, and every year that it's my birthday, it'll be, the day that you got fired too. Like,
Oh
it's
my
just, like,
god.
weird, like, because 'cause we're pretty
That's
close friends, so it's like it just, like,
it's like Dave,
weird
when is my
coincidence.
birthday? And it's like, oh wait. I got fired November. Oh,
Every time we celebrate my birthday, you're like, "I got fired."
on that day.
No, it was
Damn.
okay, David is such a cute friend that he didn't tell me that he
Cute.
got fired. Like, it was my birthday, and he messaged me a couple times and was like, "Hey, how's your birthday? Happy birthday," and never said a thing about getting fired. He was like, "I really didn't wanna bring it up on your birthday." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
Who
I
d
was
like
also really busy with work that week.
I mean, like, to be honest, I think as like as a friend personally, I don't think it's a good idea to post news like that. Okay, again, there's like
I mean,
specific
it's just like I
circumstances.
think if we were on the phone and it was any other day, you woulda told me, but you kinda, like, didn't say anything that
I
day
didn't
about
want to
it.
make you feel shitty that night. You know, like, can you imagine like you're going out for dinner or something or having, and then in your head you're like, oh shit, like David is fired. And it's kind of a
Yeah,
mood
I went out
killer.
for dinner that night, and I probably woulda talked about it at dinner. I give my boyfriend David updates. Like, I'll be like, "So,
Dave dates.
Dave dates?" Dates where we just talk about Dave.
Yeah,
I
pretty
try not to
much.
spend the entire date talking about Dave, but
No, I mean, how? Yeah, listen, as fun as exciting as gay people are, such as myself, we can't take up a 60-minute conversation. Trust me.
Hey, speaking of gay people, and this isn't even, like, really, like, 100% tied to gay people,
Oh boy.
but I was thinking that gay people might really enjoy it, I guess is my tie that I've made. Okay,
Well,
so I was looking
yeah.
at ballet tickets because I wanted to talk about ballet today too, and there are a couple other things I wanna talk about today. Honestly, we're not gonna have any trouble finding things to talk about today.
Oh no, this is our Thanksgiving special. I mean,
It's like we got a lot of things to
okay.
talk about. It's gonna be fine.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
So, I was looking at tickets for ballets. I was like, if I'm getting into ballet and I'm gonna be taking classes and oh my god, it's quite an experience. I was like, I wanna go to a ballet. And so I looked at ballet tickets, and I'll tell you about the other tickets that I found that I was like, "Should I get these or not?" But then I found these other tickets, and it said that it was like a comedic ballet troupe, and it's an all-male ballet troupe, like, company. It's all male ballet company, and it's all men, and they're comedic, and they all dress and drag, and they do all the ballets in, like, a comedic way. You should
Excuse me.
Google it right now, or I'll send you a link. If you see it, you'll be like, "Oh." Like,
What's it called?
it's, mm, Monte Carlo,
You got me in you got me in Monte Carlo.
all
Okay.
men's ballet. Let's see if I saved it.
Oh
I This is
God.
what I was Did you find it?
Oh dear my.
Did you find it?
Oh God. Oh my eyes.
But can't you see that, like,
Oh my God.
these men
Woo!
are having the time of their lives? Like, can't you see,
Oh,
like,
let me see this.
and they are beefy. Like, as in, like, their bodies are,
I want
like,
to see
sculpted.
pictures.
They Okay, well, maybe I still need to look for a
Ooh,
link.
I'm checking. I'm
Did you
checking.
did you find the pictures?
Yeah.
Because it's
Oh
like,
my.
they don't wear a lot of clothes.
Girl.
Explain what you're seeing to the
Okay.
listener.
All right. All right. What I'm
See,
seeing.
David has a smile. I'm seeing a smile on David's face. Okay, so now you explain, David, to the
Wait.
listener.
Can you
Yes,
see?
right?
Okay. So it's like imagine seeing just Imagine seeing like drag, but not fashion drag. It's like work drag. So, what I mean is, keep in mind that I've seen this before where you have drag queens that are like stunt performers, or they do like ballet as an example, or ice skating, or things like this. So, it's just drag, but work drag. It's not just for fashion. It's like to actually,
Okay, did you find the same stuff that I found? So I found the
I love how we're
website.
on our phones right now while we're recording. This is amazing. I did check out their website, but
It had a lot of pictures, and you
I
could kind
couldn't.
of see what they're like.
Where are their photos? Calendar, company, community support, and about. Oh, let me check about.
I mean, how do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce their name?
Les Ballet Trocadero di Monte Carlo.
There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube too that would totally be worth watching, but
You're
they're
going to
coming.
this. You're going to this. I will pay for your ticket if I have to. You're going to watch this. You understand me,
I
honey?
think
This
I
is.
really would enjoy it. You know, men are such talented ballet dancers. Like watching
Oh.
a highly trained male ballet dancer is incredible. Like the way they jump and the stuff that it's just crazy. Like it's really, really, really impressive.
Well, the
So
upper body, I'm assuming that with men there's a more upper body strength. So doing like
yeah,
twirls and twists and
they're gonna
things and
lift each other and stuff. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool. I mean, they do a lot of jumps because they have like really, really strong leg muscles,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and they probably get kind of competitive with each other too. They start getting really, really good, and
Yeah.
I wonder what
It's
they're like.
called
You know,
it's called gay rivalry and gay rivalry. No, I'm not even kidding. Like I'm being serious. Gay rivalry.
I wonder. I bet not everyone in the troupe is gay. You know,
No, no, no. But what gay? Okay, so let me explain what it is. Gay rivalry is where, as a homosexual, sometime sometimes you get sexual tension. So keep in mind, just like women can get envious or jealous of another man or whatever, it's because you're dealing with men that are attracted to men. And again, it can happen in regular ballet if you have lesbians. It's where you get that sexual tensity because of sometimes that attraction, which causes that jealousy.
I think
That's what
they're
I mean.
coming to the Civic Center. I originally got
I have no idea if
online.
this. I have no idea if they have this experience. I'm just
I'm just
throwing this
saying
in.
that,
Yeah.
I mean, there could be some sexual tension in the troupe.
Oh, for sure. I hope so.
I'm sure
Maybe a
there
little.
is.
Please.
Yeah,
Ah,
people dating people's, like,
ah.
has-beens and who knows.
You get the drama on the stage.
I wonder, like,
Darling.
how long someone stays in the troupe. Like, the troupe to me almost feels kind of culty, like, how do you leave? It just sounds like, like an old circus, the way that they travel through town and entertain and, make their money in that way and, like, don't exactly have, like, a specific place that they're living. Like, they're old entertainers to me. Like, they're the theater. They're a traveling theater group. It's very interesting to me. Like,
I'm
I sat there
sure.
laying in bed, like, thinking about it, laying about it. I was like
No.
I was
I'm
laying there
sure.
thinking about it.
Honestly, I'm sure their travel experience is a lot better than it was in the 1890s. I'm sure they
I
have
want
like.
it to be like the old theater
No, no,
circus,
no. They probably.
traveling circus.
They more than likely have like a tour bus or something, with showers.
I bet it's, like,
Please be
very
there
boobish.
showers.
You don't get to see men on point is what's really special
What do you
about
mean by
this.
that? What do you mean on point?
Ballet, maybe people don't realize. I think when people say ballet, like I'm taking ballet, people always assume point shoes, and not all ballet is on point. Sometimes you just have point. Sometimes you just have ballet. Ballet is broad, point is more specific, one area of ballet. It's something that professional ballerinas do, especially when you get into the company. But men don't go on point. Only women use the point shoes and dance on point. So when you see this ballet group, the Monte Carlo all men's comedic ballet, they're trained on point. And so this is something that wouldn't be taught at any of the ballet schools. It would be something that they would be possibly doing on their own, or that maybe they learned, or who knows where they got the skill from. But
So, do you
at
think
the
that
ballet companies, men do not use point shoes, but they would be using point shoes in this.
so why would they be using point shoes if generally men don't wear point shoes in ballet?
Because they're in drag. They're dressed up like women, so they're in point shoes.
Okay, but is there a reason why? Is it because of weight restraints? Is it
Why are men
because
not usually in point shoes?
correct? Yes.
Because it's a tradition. That's the way that it started, is that a ballerina would be on a point shoe and a male dancer did not get on a point shoe. She's supposed to be like up and available to like twist around on a point, and he is more on the outside, like point, like twisting her around, like they're very stiff and strong, still very flexible, but they're also the one that assists the ballerina in her movements. So she's going to do a lot of like leaps and turns, and he's going to like assist those. So he's almost like, like the base of like, almost like, like she's an instrument, and he's like the one playing it, so like she's gonna spin and turn, and he's gonna like do it like the best that it can be. Like I was like, I want to go to Swan Lake. And I was like, tickets are $30. That's not bad. Okay, yeah, I could go. And then I look and I was like, be nice to be in the balcony. Yeah, it'd be the balcony would be good. If I was in the balcony, I'd want to be in the front row though. Front row balcony.
Why would you want to be in the front row balcony of seeing like Swan Lake? I mean, with ballet dancers, is there like a specific reason why there and anywhere else in the concert hall?
I just don't want anyone's head in front of me.
Do you feel like that would be a distraction for you?
It's just like if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit there, I want to know that I got a really special spot. Like for some reason I always act this way. Like I'm like I want to sit like somewhere where I'm like, yeah, like this is my spot. Like I don't know, then there's some type of thrill that I get out of like picking like a really really good seat like on like the Ticketmaster website. Like I'll like go around like the entire like thing until I find like the row that's like the absolute closest, and like, in the best position.
Those are
Like,
probably like the most expensive.
I know it's terrible. And so then I'm like, $620. Yeah, I'm just not gonna even go. And it's like I could have just picked out like a $35 ticket, like in like a shit spot, and at least like gone. But I'm like, no, I don't want to go unless like,
Well, believe it or not, the reason why for those high prices, people will buy the tickets when they open, and they will buy them at like a ton of them. And then what they'll do is they'll resell them and they'll just rack up the prices
yeah, it's
and make
awful.
yeah. So like the seat that you're talking about is like $654 may have just been like $130.
Well, it's two tickets front row balcony for $150. But then there was a whole bunch of fees and bullshit, and it was like 170. But like if I just went on my own, it'd be like half the price.
What do you mean if you went on? Oh, I
I
see.
was just gonna get like two tickets just so that like somebody could come with me. But then I was like, okay, so I kind of want to just go, because I don't even know if the other person really even wants to like go with me as much as I want to go. It's
Right.
like I'm just interested in ballet right now. So like I would like to kind of see. I should probably just go to the Nutcracker, but I couldn't. The ballet company that I am taking classes at, they have a nutcracker that a lot of them tried out for and are being in. So, like, some of the women in my class are in the Nutcracker. So, like, if I ever got particularly bored, like, one of these Christmases, I could try out for the Nutcracker and I could do it. Like, they'd like find a part for me and I'd go to the practices all, November, and then I would perform in the Nutcracker. I don't make any money or anything. I probably have to spend money, but like it'd be fun. It'd keep me fit. It's almost like a free gym membership, to be honest with you. Like
The reason why that because I remember this conversation started up where I mentioned to you flow state, and you were like, "Dave, what's that?" And I was
yeah,
like,
people are like, I know something that'll help you. And I'm always like, yeah, what is it?
I was like, flow state, and you're like, "What hippie shit is that?" And I was like, "No, no, no." It's like it's it's where you organize your mind instead of like focusing on a thousand things. You just focus at once. And you were telling me how like ballet gives you that, where you're able to like focus your energy, your space, and your time.
On just ballet. I used to feel that way about like rock climbing, like wall climbing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it a lot, but then I hurt my shoulder and I haven't been able to do that anymore. But I really liked climbing because my entire body was like up on the wall, and like if my mind doesn't stay focused on how to get up or down the wall, I fall off. So like anytime that I would start to think about something else, I would be like, "Oh shit, no, like pay attention to what you're doing." So it's like it really was like a really nice way to get away.
What do you mean he's sick?
He's just like at home sick. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
He has possibly like a almost COVID kind of situation. Like he's
Oh,
like, possibly has COVID but hasn't taken a test. It's probably not the way I should have described it on the podcast here.
oh, okay.
But no, I was saying it sounds kind of like COVID-y issues, but no actual like COVID. I don't know. Some type of head cold virus
It's a
bullshit.
viral, yeah, it's a viral infection.
Yeah, my mom, I think that's what's wrong with her too. So I either am gonna like get whatever this is, or I'm just like one of those people that just kind of passed it between two people, or two people around me got it at the same time, or I don't know what it
You're
is.
asymptomatic.
That would be good with me because
Me
I'm pretty
too.
sure everybody around me would rather I not be sick as well. But I'm sorry if I pass things to people. I don't know how I
Or
did.
offended them
Yeah, sorry for offending everyone.
with the C word.
Yeah, I mean, no one actually has COVID. It's just like
It's a it.
sounds like it.
Well, when you really boil it down to, COVID is very similar to the common cold. Common cold is very similar to flu. These are viral infections, and they infect our body a different way. But in the end of the day, they make some people sick. They make some people sicker, and sometimes they don't make people sick at all.
When I started, you remember I started my biology class, I got really, really, really sick last February. And I was having like these
Last
really,
year,
yeah, really, really bad chest pains. And I would get up in the morning, I would go outside and take Louis out, and my chest was like insane. Like it was like I felt like somebody was like strangling my heart. And I was like, whoa, no. Like I could like feel it in my back. I was like, oh shit. Like I was like, this is not good. And I kind of was like, maybe it'll go away, I'll eat some lunch or whatever. And it didn't. And I was blowing my nose like crazy and I felt really sick and shit. And I went to the emergency room because like that was the only way I was going to not go to work, as if I had like a work note. And so I went there and they like, did a whole bunch of like chest stuff or whatever. They ran like a virus like check on me or whatever. And I came home and I was feeling just like absolute trash, and they were like, "Oh, well, you should just stay home for a couple days, like whatever." And they were like,
okay.
"Your virus panel will take a couple days." And I was like, "What the freaking f?" I was like, "So you guys all like did like a check on me, but you're not going to tell me anything. And I should just, okay, fine. I'll just stay at home and get better. And so then, like, I checked it on like day 3. There was like a virus panel and it had all these things listed. And then next to them, it said negative, 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 negative. And then one of them said positive. And I was like, ah. And I like went across the line, like to the other side to like see what it was. It said like COVID, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, it had like a number, like it was like H119 or something. And I was like, what the hell? And so, but it wasn't 19, it was like just some random number. And I was like, oh my God. I called my dad and I was like, I've got COVID. I was like, ah, like, cause I'd never had it before. And so I was like trying to start my class too. And I was like, how am I going to get out of work? Because I didn't have that many more sick days. So I was going to miss a whole bunch of work and money. And we didn't have any coverage anymore. And it was just like bullshit. So I was like freaking out or whatever. And I Googled the little detailed like numbers after, you know, where it said COVID. And it just told me that it was just a fucking head cold virus. It wasn't even COVID. It was like COVID before COVID-19 happened.
Keep in mind
And
that
it scared me to death.
keep keep in keep in mind is what COVID is. When you do gain of function research, what you're doing is you're speeding up the process of age, viruses, bacteria, different things like in this nature. So when you're dealing with viruses, what happens is they can speed it up to 10 to 20,000 years. So meaning the way that they made it was not supposed to exist for another 20,000 years with evolution. So you're exposing people now to something that they shouldn't have been exposed to for another 20,000 years. There are serious consequences with that. However, it's not as extreme as people think it is.
No, absolutely not. I just like, yeah, the I just didn't know how to read that panel.
No, you're good.
I was
Honestly, I
like so
think
scared. I was like, no. And then like all these thoughts like went through my head, like all the things that I've never had to do because I've never caught COVID, as far as I know. And so I've never had to like stay home alone and like order groceries or like, you know, like be like, I'll
or
see you guys when I'm better. You know, like I've never had to do it.
yeah,
Like I've never
or
had to
like
isolate.
yeah, or like set up like a bunch of traps in your house, because the robbers are coming through the basement.
Nothing happens. It's like not a big deal.
No,
That's what
no.
I'm saying is like I've never had to do nothing, which I think is like kind of one of the scariest things about it since, you know, the pandemic is over and I now kind of can just like and everybody has everything is back to normal, you know, it's like that's I've become addicted to being busy, I think recently, just to like keep myself like going. I think in my downtime I kind of think too much and so I've been like avoiding downtime, you know. So like the idea of like getting sick is kind of scary cuz you just like lay there. You just have this like downtime.
I I don't really get
It's
sick
not
very
usually like me. Go on.
I usually don't get sick very often, but the thing is like I do get injured, like I do work in a kitchen more frequently, and I remember that even with the way that things the way things run, like I would sometimes get cuts and bruises and burns and things in that nature, and like it would hurt to like work with like a tomato or something, because like when you got like a cut or a bruise,
Oh yeah.
oh, it's gonna, but you learn to like manage with those things. But I don't know, it's really hard to be comfortable. It's really hard to work. See, I don't want to like seem them like I'm pro union or whatever, but I keep on telling you this, like I grew up blue collar. So what I mean by this is like my type of attitude in nature was like seeing the people growing up. Like my dad is, you gotta work, you gotta make something, you gotta make something that you're proud of. Like this is why like my dad was very anti-college. He's like, I want you to do something that you can be proud of, that you can wake up every single day and be proud of the work that you're doing. It's that kind of attitude and mentality, I feel.
I don't feel like I got that as much as you did. I don't know if it's because of the difference in our gender or if it's, but I feel like I got that direction a lot when it comes to like the way that I treat people. Like I was taught to be like, be proud of like the way that you treat people, be proud of the things that people would say about you, like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, I win. I love saying, I'm sorry. I always love throwing it in there. I win.
hey,
Ah.
hey, thanks. Yeah, we don't have to scream it everywhere. I'm still a Californian,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
but I feel like it wasn't said so much to me about my career as much as it was like how I treat other people and what I do for others and how I am like in a community. But I feel like it would have been good for me. I can see how that type of instruction from a parent is good for you to say, like try hard in like whatever you create like as your job to, make a difference. Yeah, I think that's good. As far as my career, I think that when I was younger, my parents always pushed me to be an entertainer. That's what I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be a dancer, a singer, like a public speaker of some kind. I
You're kind
don't
of doing that right now, but
It is
yeah, go on.
interesting. I mean, it is kind of like where I was going. Yeah, I think my mom thought that I would be like a news anchor or something. I have no idea. Like
My
she
mom
thought I
keeps
would be an opera singer. I'm like, I love singing, but no one I'm like no one's approached me like, "Hey, Karissa." I don't know. I don't really know how to make that a job. Like, same with the dancing. Like I'm like there's no all women's comedic ballet troupe.
no.
Like,
Well, my mom keeps on telling me, she's like, you're gonna make it, you know?
oh, I love
And
that.
well, the thing that I think the both
Mhm.
of us don't recognize is, this is the thing about podcasting. We don't know our audience until like they reach out, or when we start to like put the pieces together. Like I was telling you, like sometimes it's where you have all those puzzle pieces and you have to figure out like where they're supposed to go to make the picture. Things take time and you have to be able to, again, like appreciate and love what you're doing. And the thing is, even if that means like you need a job, you need income, you need a stable place to live, but to what degree? Like I'm telling you right now, I got fired at the beginning of the month. I'm still mentally recovering, and I don't know how long it's going to take. My mind is foggy and it breaks.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I feel that way about moving too. Like, I feel like I moved and so now everything is like, just like slow
Who
and
am
just kind of
I? Where am
odd.
I?
What
Where
am
am
I?
I going? Like, what is
What
this?
next? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's all of these things wrapped up and then just like spinning in your head.
Did they give you the promotion at work?
Yes,
Not
they did.
yet.
Yeah, I'm yeah, technically the head chef.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to get a promotion too. I think I'm not supposed to know about it.
Are you not supposed to know about it?
Yeah, so we shouldn't talk about it.
Oh my
But
god. Well, for me,
no, I mean for me it's just like I got this like hunch. Like I don't know.
I
And
think you
I
should
think it'd be really cool.
keep it on the hush hush.
I'm excited. excited.
You're
I
really
really want
excited. You're
I
really
want something
excited.
new, you know?
I
I
don't
mean,
blame you.
do you get a raise for yours? I know we shouldn't talk about these things, right?
I'm
Fuck
not gonna.
it. This is
Yeah,
real life.
yeah, fucking a. This is real life, but like I will tell you that I am making not a larger amount, but I'm making a bit more than I was making before. The thing about my position right now is the owner of the business. You know, I work hand in hand with him.
Yeah.
We work together to create a taco dish. We're working on making a pork belly sandwich, and I've really helped. I really shouldn't be saying these things, but whatever. It, it I'm not,
This is real life.
it's real life. But the point is that I've kind of positioned myself right now there because of it being so new, where I'm basically helping him create a successful kitchen. You know, so like besides having a job
Yeah.
and a somewhat potential income, I'm also in a position of like creating a business within his scope, you know, and it's like it's nuts because do you understand how like first of all how difficult, how rare and
I wouldn't know the first thing to do.
exactly,
Yeah, about a
exactly.
kitchen. I try to think like, okay, so we just won't put these things in the pod clip, I think is how we'll get away with this because there's no way somebody would like listen to like minute like 45 of, but I feel like for me, like I'm gonna have a whole bunch of new responsibilities at some point, hopefully. And
Right.
I feel like there's stuff that like I'm nervous about doing as far as like social interaction. Like I get kind of like embarrassed with like my like dyslexia, and I get kind of embarrassed like kind of like giving other people direction. Like I don't like to like tell people what to do very much cuz I'm like a little bit like shy in that regard. Like
But you can tell me what to do.
I feel like if we know each other, I know what I can tell you to do, you know?
This is true. Yeah, like once you get to like know someone and get to know their like kinks.
I know what I can't tell you to do, you know? I mean, and that's the difference is like I won't ever ask you to do things that you're not okay with doing. Like I like respect that, you know, like the things that you know, where you draw your lines like and I feel like it's just polite of me not to like ask you things that you'd naturally be like, I don't know. I
Well, it's like knowing the person, it's like understanding of putting yourself in their shoes because again, when you know somebody, you're like, "Oh, okay, you're in this situation. Okay. So, if I was in that situation, this is
yeah.
what I would do."
Like, would I if I were my boyfriend, would I wanna be drugged to the ballet or not? You know, I feel like I don't think so, you know, like, so
That
I feel like you gotta things that you ask people to do and things that you don't, you know, you kinda put yourself in their
Do you want to go to the
shoes.
drag? What? Do you
I'm
want
gonna
to
go
go to
to
the
the drag ballet.
drag?
It's like, not only am I gonna take you to a ballet, I'm gonna take you to a
A
drag ballet.
drag ballet. Oh,
It'll be the best night of his life. He'll be like, "I've never seen anything like this," you know?
he's like, honey, should I wear the rainbow shirt? Okay, cool.
Oh my god,
You gotta get him a
yeah.
rainbow shirt. If he has a rainbow shirt and he goes like, girl,
The other thing is I was like, okay, so I looked at the tour of the drag ballet
oh my
and, like,
god,
they're in Florida for quite some time if you wanna go to the drag ballet.
are they in Fort Lauderdale?
I wanna see because I was like, "Why did they come to Des Moines, Iowa?" And then I was like, "I know why they came to Des Moines, Iowa."
Why? Why? Why did they come to? You know, you tell me. Why did they come to Iowa?
I don't know, I just feel like they knew that, like, people would wanna see him. They're in Italy at the moment, which is pretty hot,
They're in
right?
Bologna. They're in Bologna.
Bologna. I
It's not,
feel like
it's not called Bologna. I'm making a joke.
the tour, the calendar
They're in Treviso.
Titro? Titro
Wow, they're not going to be in. Wow, they're going to be in West.
They're in Italy for like a while.
Ooh.
Wait, did you find one? West Palm Beach,
They're gonna be
Sarasota.
in Sarasota on January 14th.
Van Wetzel is a performing arts theater that I saw come up a lot. I was trying to look for ballets or like a Nutcracker in
We can
in
go
Florida.
because
I'm
you're gonna.
not gonna be there.
You are.
No, I'm only there the first week of January, but I'm there the last few weeks of December. And so I'm not in Sarasota in January 14th.
Wait a minute. Aren't you gonna be here in Florida for a few months?
I'm not going to do it anymore. I could possibly come back down again, but my mom and dad decided that we would just my dad has like this like doctor's appointment that he's got to come back in town for like January like 10th or something like that. And so I'm really just going to be in Florida for about 3 weeks.
Whew.
But I mean otherwise like drag ballet would be really cool to go to together. Damn, I'm really disappointed.
I'm looking at the tickets are like $70.
Right? That's what I told you. It was like, okay, so like $70 and then like $25 with like shit on top of it. So then it's like $95. And it's like, okay, is that for one person or two?
One.
I know. So you're like, do I go?
Yes.
Like, is it really that good?
Yes.
You really think it's that good? You think
Yes.
it's worth it?
100%. And keep in mind that my birthday is on January 18th. So
Oh, I'm sorry I'm not here for your birthday. I would have to go to the one here in Des Moines, which I feel was like
it's
one of
very far in the future. Let me
they go
see.
to Iowa City. Oh, I like Iowa City, but it's actually like further.
Oh, we had a good discussion about Iowa and its name planning.
February 20th. Oh, Iowa and Iowa City. Yeah, it's
I'm like,
pretty creative.
it's like, wow, I could have thought about. Why don't we just call it Iowa Town? Let me guess. There is an Iowa Town, Iowa.
I feel like
Wow, when are they going to Iowa? I don't even see it on the. Oh my God,
the
February
20th
20th.
of February. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like I feel like
Uh,
people have taken a lot of the decent tickets at my place.
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's like popular. It looks like I'd have to be at least like 10, 15 back, and my ticket would be like $61 for the I feel like that's probably like the best I'm gonna find.
Wow, they have front though. Yeah, but I don't know if front is like where you want to be though. Do you really?
Mine is like row 10. Row 10, kind
I
of
love that we're
towards the
doing
middle.
this on the podcast right now. This is awesome.
I'm sorry. People are like, I'm done.
I'm done. Goodbye. No,
No,
but this is serious.
but it's like I wanted to see like kind of how much it costs, and that's what I was doing, and that's kind of how like Swan Lake was too, where I was like, oh, do I really want to spend that money? And I was like, okay, this ballet here that I'm looking at is in February. Then Swan Lake was in March, and I was like, that might really like keep me happy, like like and just like I'd have like one show to go to a
Yeah, but
month.
you're still gonna be missing my birthday. But go on.
Well, I just am, like, trying to, like, keep myself, like, entertained
In
here in this, like, stupid place. I mean, it's an okay
the
stupid
stupid
place,
place,
but it's
in
kind
the
of a
stupid
stupid place.
place, it's a kind of magic. It's fantastic.
What, my stupid Iowa
No,
place?
I
It's
took
okay.
no, I took Barbie, Barbie girl song,
I see, I heard, yes,
and I gotta
it's a
changed
stupid
it. I changed
place.
it a little bit. Wow,
Uh,
this marijuana is really good. Can we give a little shout out right now?
little shout out to Sunburn.
Sunburn. Oh my God. God bless their soul. Right here, it's the gold. They're all over Florida and they deliver. And I don't know what I just did. Can you still see me?
It's been a while since we both just like ripped on the podcast. I feel like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good change of scenery. It kind of opens. It really does. It kind of like opens up experiences, and I like to have fun, but I also like to get deep in thought because there's a lot of things you can learn in just a conversation. No, there really
People
is.
will be like, "What'd you talk about on your podcast this week?" I'll be like, "Well, we picked out tickets for a men's ballet,
That
but
are
didn't
in
buy
drag.
them."
We didn't buy them yet.
I'm gonna
We
wish. I'm gonna wish that I bought it. I
When you wish upon a star,
look. I can be in row
makes
3,
no
right in the very
difference
middle
who
there.
you are. Well, you could. You could definitely do that.
I feel like okay. I was also looking, and I was like, the timing is like quite strange. I was like, is it a Saturday night? What time is it? Yeah, Tuesday night
Oh, damn.
at 7:30. And then the other one was on a Thursday night. I was like, what is it with Iowa and these like we got shows on Tuesday and Thursday
And
night,
Thursday,
but no shows
Tuesday and
any other time.
Thursday.
Hey, you know what I really did want to tell you about is that I went to a jazz club last Friday. Can
I
you
thought you
believe
said there's
this?
nothing. I thought you said there's nothing to do, and wait. Hold on.
Well, I found the one thing to do.
Okay,
I
I'm listening.
did.
I'm
There's a
listening.
there's a jazz club and it's called Noche, which it
Noche,
honestly does not look like
noche.
Noche. But I guess that's how people are saying it.
Okay, how
It's
do you spell this?
Noce. I'm gonna send you a link for it. And basically, there was a jazz singer. I'm slaughtering this story, but this is gossip. There was a jazz singer that
Oh,
moved
wow.
from Des Moines. Did you
Well,
find it?
they only have 4.7 stars.
Probably because people are like, it's expensive. Go ahead, look at the
Wow.
reviews. Is the one complaint that it costs money?
I'm gonna check. Well, this place is really nice. I have an N. So
The end comes
wow.
down. There's like a moment, and that's like a special thing. Like,
They have a great drink selection from what I'm
yeah,
looking here.
honestly, I had a glass of
They are expensive.
white Chardonnay from France,
Oh,
and it was like stupid
wow.
good. You know what was weird is that the California wine was $11 and the French wine was $9. And
Well,
I was like, I want the French wine anyways. But what were you gonna say?
it probably has to do with like import wise.
And like the availability, like it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's probably like less of that California wine around and they still had to ship it in anyways. I don't
Calif-
even freaking know.
California, I like California one. There's some really great vineyards. Like for example,
Yeah, yeah,
Francis
yeah,
Coppola.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Francis Coppola wine. That stuff is expensive, but I will buy a bottle of Francis Coppola wine.
I don't know the names of my favorite wineries out
That's
out of
one I know.
California, but
Yeah.
I there's a lot that are really good that it's like I just memorize what the bottles look like. But I wanted to look up the calendar for them too and look at shows. Basically, I've been trying to look for like events and like things that are happening and like,
Do they
stuff.
have they have a drink requirement, correct?
No.
Oh, they don't. Oh, nice. Okay. So you can just go in there, pay your $5 to $10.
I'm not really I mean, basically, like, what I see is that they're only open for shows, so you have to buy a ticket in order to go in. So,
Yeah,
like
correct. Yeah, I noticed that on their website.
it's like they'll have, like, a performing artist, and then people buy tickets, and they come in. But you don't have to drink, but I think most people will, at least, like, have a soda or, like, they should have, like, more food choices, like, but I also didn't take a lot of time to, like, look at it, but, like, I think that
People
people would like to get more food, you know?
Well, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna check this up to make sure it's the correct person. But I was talking about he wasn't very familiar with this. Our interpretation of like the drag the not drag jazz, the 24/7 jazz where you go to a nightclub and then the whole night you just pop around, you hear all these different jazz clubs playing. A lot of that kind of stems from like New Orleans and kind of spread from there to other places like Nashville and Indianapolis and across the country, even like in places like Missouri. But what's really interesting is like you still have that concept of like jazz being a concert. You know, like when you'd go to a
Yeah.
hotel, like you remember, like back in the day, you know, when you go to a hotel and you'd buy a ticket at the concierge to see a jazz performance in their.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about this. What I heard, and I said I was slaughtering the story, and I really did slaughter it
Please
because I just
do.
stopped telling it. So there was a guy, and I don't know what his name is or whatever, but he owns this jazz club, and he is like a performer, and he grew up here in Des Moines, and then he moved away, maybe to New York, maybe to LA, who even knows, maybe somewhere else, and he traveled and was like a performer, whatever else. Then he came back and he opened this place. It sounds like he opened it maybe like 2019, 2018, something like
Oh, you
that.
mean the Noche? They opened up in
Yeah.
2015, from what
Oh,
I.
damn.
Yes, they've been around for a minute. I don't know what's going on
Oh,
with
well,
mine.
they survived the pandemic, which is really cool. But
Yes.
and I went there Friday night, last Friday night,
Okay.
and I'm trying to find the name of the artist.
While you're doing that, I want to just do a shout out. I had a interview. It's not going to be coming out for a little bit. His name is Josh Feldstein, and he runs he runs a company called the Verve Jazz Ensemble. Like he's very big on like preserving jazz and keeping it going. So yeah, I'm sorry. Whenever you're ready with that artist name, but
No, 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 you're cool.
it's really cool to like sit down and like listen to this person like talk about, because I can imagine like when you went there for the show, it's like an amazing experience. You know, you have like the lighting, you know, and you get a cocktail.
It was weird because, like, I thought that I was just gonna go, like, on my own, and I did, like, I, like, drove there, and like, drove up and, like, bought a ticket, and then, like, as I was walking in, I, like, saw, like, one of my friends that I know here in town, and I was like, "Hey," and they were like, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "Oh my god, no way." And so we just sat together. It was pretty cool. The, Noche, and being delightfully surprised to see my friend, and then my friend had another friend with him that had come in from out of town, and he found tickets to go to Noche that night because it was the only thing that was happening. I like that one of the only things that's happening in Des Moines is like a legit like jazz night. Like I was like, okay, like
Was the
okay.
whole town there? Was like
There's just
everybody?
anybody who was cool was there. There's this woman. She's a singer. Her name is like Joyanne. I don't know, but she does a Patsy Cline cover show, and they sing like Patsy Cline songs, and she
Two cigarettes
was so
in
good.
the ashtray. Oh my god, I love Patsy Cline. I have like three
So
of her
good.
albums. It's so fucking good.
She was so good. She gave me like goosebumps, and it was really nice to like sit out and like see like a really really talented person perform, like hear like a really beautiful voice. She's very experienced. There's really good
I'm sure.
instruments. Yeah, I get the whole thing 5 stars
A whole
for
shebang.
me. The whole thing 5 stars.
Wow.
Our server was slow,
Okay.
but it's like it's fine.
There's
Like
like the BAM, you know, it's like everything was great, but the server. No, we're kidding.
she's okay. I stood at the bar like for a while. Like, is anybody gonna get me a drink? Like, what is this shit? But yeah, it's an expensive situation, but I think it's like worth it. I want to go. They're doing a Charlie Brown night where someone does the all the piano music from Charlie Brown Christmas. I want to go before I leave town. I like Charlie Brown Christmas. So I was going to see, like how much those tickets are.
Oh, honey, you can blast Charlie Brown in my Mustang while we're spreading tire rubber all over the pavement.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh well, I mean, yeah, I can hook up my aux cord and we can play Charlie Brown in the car. Is that the plan?
Well, I have Bluetooth in the car.
Da 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 da
I'm
da
like sitting here in terror,
da da da.
wondering if this recording will just like magically just stop working because of connection issues.
Yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
know.
It's just like ridiculous. But okay, so I had a great time at the jazz club. You
Yeah.
know what was really
Noche.
cool is that I went from doing ballet, I changed in my car and I went to the nightclub, the
In a
jazz club.
tutu.
No, I just like, like pulled on a shirt over my leotard and then like, took
You
my
should have
tights off
gone
and
in
put
there
on
with a
some
tutu.
jeans.
That would have been
I
bomb.
don't use a tutu when I do ballet.
No tutu.
No, no tutu. I wear sweatpants on top of my leotard and tights just because I feel like so naked in a leotard and tights. And we don't have to follow dress code because we're like adults, but it was cool to go from like one art form to another, like where I got to like do like dancing and singing in like one night, like see like two professionals, like because my ballet teacher is like a professional ballerina, so like I love watching her dance, like regardless of like if I'm taking the class or not. Like the one of the parts I
How
really enjoy
professional are we
is like,
talking?
I mean, she's been dancing her entire life and she teaches dance, and so I mean she's a ballerina. The way she moves is like, whoa. Yeah, she moves really pretty.
It's
I
like
really
magic.
like, yeah, it is. Like, and she does like a lot of choreography. She knows everything like inside and out. And so it's really interesting just to even like be in her presence, like as a student. You ever feel that way like around a teacher where you're like, "Oh, I just kind of like watching you like, perform or whatever, do what you do." Because like even if I don't know how to do it yet, it's really neat. It's like
Uh,
watching a show.
yeah, it is. I like things that are kind of mysterious where I can kind of like figure out like, ooh, okay, so if I do that, that's okay. So that's how you do it. I gotcha. And
Mhm.
that is one of the things that I kind of love about like being in a kitchen. I know that's not anything to do with ballet, but for me, it's being able
Same
to be like,
thing.
okay, it's like, you take this and you mix this. And it's like realizing that some of the things that I've loved that are so complex are the most simplest things to make, but it's just a balance of those ingredients. Oh my god, I sound like a chemist.
Well,
But
just like overcoming a challenge, like being
oh
kind
yeah,
of like,
sure.
wait, how does that work? Like once you figure out the trick, like for me, it's like, wait, how did she end up with her right foot in the back? It's like, oh, which foot did she land with there? Like, and then I kind of, well, how did she end up on that
But
foot?
she breaks that down for you.
Mm,
She
Not
doesn't.
always. Like a lot of things she will, and if I were to ask her, but like I'm very beginner. So I have to like really kind of like pay attention. I don't know. I'm excited to like get better, and like learn, and there's so much to learn. So many little
Mhm.
things. So
So
it's
many
pretty
things.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that we learned today. We learned emotions, instability, structure, flow state, and something to do in Des Moines, Iowa.
I'm a I am clobbering myself with the arts, basically. Singing, instruments, jazz, dance, any type of like
You should learn to play guitar.
art gallery. Like, yeah. I mean, right now I'm learning ballet. I kind of want to do an instrument too, but I'm not really sure.
Guitar. Acoustic guitar.
That's what I want, yeah. But I have an electric guitar. I've been practicing singing too. I was kind of like singing along with the Patsy Cline songs. But I would like to be able to like play while I sing. I don't know. You say that you like half know guitar, like you know what I mean. It's hard. Like it's like yeah, I want to learn it, but like there comes a point of like kind of like where you're just like strumming because there's stuff that like you still need to learn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation with my guitar where I'm missing two strings because they kind of broke, so I only have four. It's kind of like a ukulele, but it's kind of not like a ukulele because it's a guitar.
I want to
Eh,
send you like strings on like Amazon or something.
No, it's fine. I just have to have like it's like $30, but I'm trying to like figure out. I'm in like one of
Stuff
the,
with like transitions with
yeah.
work.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of in a situation right now where I no longer have that corporate cushion,
Yeah.
so there's that to deal with. But anyway, I don't want to deal with that on Thanksgiving. I really don't. I don't want to think about corporate. I don't want to.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, day that we
I
slaughtered
think
Native
yeah.
Americans. You know, a lot of Native American. I always makes this statement. You know, a lot of Native Americans actually mourn on this day. They don't actually celebrate it.
It probably just feels kind of like insulting. I For
We
me it feels misleading and kind of confusing cuz like I grew up with my dad's side of the family saying that they were Native American, specifically my dad's dad, and he used to kind of make jokes where it was like, yeah, they acted like they wanted to like, coexist like at first. Like and he'd kind of laugh, and like but like we always just kind of make the joke that like we're like an internal battle. Like my grandpa used to kind of say, like, well, I'm, a mixture, so it's like, inside still trying to figure out which side won, that kind of
oh my
thing.
god.
Just like, and it's like we never really felt quite right, like claiming one side or the other. I feel like, and then, I got even more kind of like diluted with more, just Scandinavian stuff from my mom's side.
It's watering
So
down the sweet tea.
I didn't want to use the word watering down for some reason. It just sounded wrong to me.
Mm, yeah,
I
and
was,
I
but it's
yeah,
like, my culture, that part of my culture just got mixed in with more of what was mixed in with my grandpa. So it was like, it just got more like diluted with me. And
right.
that's why I'm just pale as hell and sunburned like crazy. I Speaking of sunburn, I wanted to ask, like, what do you have to do is marijuana recreational or is it medical in Florida?
It's medical.
So, how do you go to a doctor? Are there doctors? How do I do that while I'm in Florida?
The best way to do it is you go online. It's called Veriheel. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna check it up. It's Veriheal. It is, I believe, around $200, and they get you in con.
Damn.
Yeah, it is not cheap down here. You get in contact with a doctor. Doctor makes a whole bullshit, statement. You really need this today? Yeah, 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 doctor, I need this. I need. And you get your card and you go to a store and you buy it. But then you keep in mind every 7 months you have to renew it, which is around $145. And then
Mm.
there's a 1 year registration fee, which is $95.
It'd be worth it if I live there, but like
Honey, we can talk off the air because the government does monitor and censor all networks and cables and but yeah, there are ways of combating this in the state of Florida, which we will not mention. I rest my case.
I
I
rest
plead the
my
fifth.
case.
I
I don't
plead the
know. I'm
fifth.
just like, there's something wrong with Iowa. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Uh,
I just
I don't
don't get
know. I
it.
don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with people. They need to go see their doctors more often. Get stuff with those pills. But all seriousness, though, we gotta
Wrap
wrap
it
this.
up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this motherfucker up. If you want to check out more of Karissa because she is a part of Lost in the Groove and check out what's going on with the podcast, you got any questions, any hypothetical scenarios that are not weird and random, you can find her at American Groove Pod on Instagram. And if you want to learn more about the podcast, you can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Yes, we are on a lot of platforms at Lost in the Groove Pod. And what's one thing we can do for the podcast, Karissa?
It'd be cool if you guys would like comment or leave a review or just like say something, just like interact with us
Yeah,
when
just
like
like
I never hear anything from you. So just kind of say something.
say something. We
Like
want
that
to,
was cool. Like I don't
yeah,
know, anything, couple
anything.
words.
Yeah, just like shit, or like boo.
Or
That's
like I like the
something.
onesie, like I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, or like Walmart.
Or Dave's hot.
Okay, we're not gonna go that far. Anyway, we love y'all. It's not Thanksgiving, but it is Thanksgiving for us. Bye, everybody. How
Peace
do you
out.
stop this? I don't know where I'm going. Oh my god, this is crazy.